All right, Shalom. Shalom, Akim. Want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakadash, the honest the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth, helping to wake up the elect of Israel, and any of you Akwath who might be listening and learning as well. I'm going to just jump right in because we still have discrepancies with the Bible and the things that are written in the scriptures. Excuse me, but everything written in the scriptures, just like it talks about, is written for our learning, including the prophecy, the different things that are going to happen. Jumping into Revelations. Now, these are revelations that were given unto John on the Isle of Patmos. This is Revelations 18:4. It said, and I heard a matter of fact, Salakia. I'm going to start at verse 3. Salakia. Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. Now, when it's talking about come out of her, we know it's talking about bring your spirit out of this place. You know, don't be have your spirit in the enjoyment of this place. You know, we are coming into the faith. We we have that quickening of the spirit within us, and we want to be renewed and be refreshed. And that's why in the ancient world, people were baptized. They were baptized in order to simulate their them being washed clean, and they confess their sins, and it's a refreshment process, and that's what it's talking about. Because when you look at our people, even still, like I had Valentine's Day, people are going crazy. I'm seeing, everybody's buying roses, buying flowers, and all this stuff. Buying chocolates, buying candy, buying alcohol, buying wine, and not understanding that that custom goes back to a Babylonian custom. Because in Babylon you had the temples of that shit goes back to Aphrodite. You had the temples of Aphrodite, and they were promoting a lot of prostitution, and and all those temples were of talking about the Greek temples. All those temples, they promoted that orgies and homosexuality and all of that, and all of the customs that we follow today. Basically, they go back to those customs. So we're taking our mind out of this place because it gives an ode to those ancient wicked customs that their forefathers were into. Well, our forefathers were not into that. Our forefathers were into the understanding of the scriptures and pushing the scriptures, and we were even ordered by the Heavenly Father to do that. So we have no choice for all the people who ask us, why we continue to do what we do. But going into this specific topic, it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Yep, all the nations have, and the wine of the wrath of her fornication, that goes into all of her philosophies. Because when it's talking about fornication, it's talking about spiritual fornication. So, the democracy, the feminism, the racism towards the 12 tribes of Israel, the partiality, the anti-Messiah mindset. Back in the day during the 60s. Basically, they said they wanted to stop with the COINTELPRO thing. They wanted to stop a black Messiah from rising up. So they started to infiltrate the different spiritual things that were going on, and one by one they were all defeated. Then we got to the 70s and the 80s, Then they started to introduce the drugs, the single mothers, and all of that kind of shit. And going through through the earth, you're starting to see that now. All the same things you have here, and you got people in London selling crack, selling fentanyl, opium, all of that shit. You got people, in Spain doing that, in France. So all of that stuff that America is into, all of the bullshit, all of these other nations, they drink of that and they bring that into their country. Letting women be over men. You have women representation in the Middle East now. I thought I would never see that, but they drunk of that wine. Yep, the kings of the earth have committed fornication with it. That's kind of the same thing. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And it's interesting because the way that they're all waxing rich under Esau's system, because this ties into the chip. It says RFID tags market estimated to grow 9.9%, basically going into 2025 if we even make it that far. So it's a huge growth for the whole RFID market. It says has been included in enormous research, compiles various facets at a global level, which is talking about. It's going to tell you, the integration of RFID tags. They prevent theft, track shipments in real time, and implement advanced technology at low cost. Exactly. You go into the store, they got certain products, they got the tag on them. They have to put it on the demagnetizer or whatever, and they can keep a certain number of people from stealing because they got the tags on everything. Like I said, track shipments in real time. A lot of these FedEx, UPS, all these carrier services, the USPS, and all the other ones, they use RFID. They use the scanner system. They use that RFID tag with that scanner. You can track all your stuff from point A to point B. Because like I ordered something from China, and one thing I noticed, they don't have it. It's not the same. If it's coming from China, you just gotta wait basically. It might tell you when it gets to the international Chinese airport or something like that for them to have an international flight here. But it's not gonna tell you, it's in this part of China, it's in that part of China, it's in this place. They really aren't up to date like that, like they are here in the U.S. And that's another reason, because everybody who orders something, they get that real-time update. They get that real-time info. They're damn near updating it daily, so you can see where your stuff is. So you enjoy buying shit. Puts you in that consumer mindset. You enjoy it, and you can even pay extra to have it expedited, to have it, overnight shipping or 2-day shipping or next day air or whatever. So that's another reason, because this is coming from Revelations, where Babylon had already went down to the Assyrians, way back thousands of years ago when John said this. So, for him to be talking about Babylon and talking about basically a kingdom that's so strong that it because basically what it's saying here is this kingdom is so strong in wickedness that it influences all the other nations of the earth. And it's rich. It has all kind of products. The only thing that it could be talking about has to be here. Couldn't be talking about the Middle East. It has to be talking about today. It's an analogy. Scriptures are full with analogies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, right, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven." So they're talking about one of the most wicked places in history, basically, for your sins to reach unto heaven. And the Most High have remembered her iniquities. And when you look at America, it's not a day that goes by that it isn't some crazy shit popping off in some location. Could be a random shooting, could be a school shooting, could be a massacre, could be an accident. That's why they have the police force. The police force has a quota because they understand that there's always going to be a certain amount of crime here, because that's this place has that spirit on it. This place, it deals with those familiar spirits with these holidays, which they're not holy days, but they're actually fucking demon days. But this place deals with that spirit, with those wicked demons, and it's always gonna be a demon that jumps on somebody to do something. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled to her double. And that's something interesting, because in the Christian church, everything is about which, the scriptures do talk about forgiveness. A brother slips, 7 times 7 forgive them. And certain situations, lead to certain judgments. But when it's talking about this place, it's a systematic thing, It's not an accidental thing. It wasn't an accident how they came and how they set this place up. It's not an accident how they're running it now. The scriptures talk about love, but they also talk about hatred. Everything is about balance. So, and this is telling you, reward her as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she had to glorify herself and live deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be burnt utterly by fire, for strong is the Lord, the Most High, who judges her. So it says in one day she's going to be destroyed. And then later on, matter of fact, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So basically, it says, then it goes on to say, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. 1 hour. And going back into the RFID thing, because this is the system by which all the kings of the earth are doing business now. This is the main way that everybody's doing business, RFID. Because once again, they have a huge network that can be tracked all over the earth. Once they scan that number and they scan the barcode, they can even scan the barcode on the back of your driver's license, and they can track you using that. If you go to certain places, I've gotten got like a beer or something, they'll scan your ID. After a certain time, then if the police pull you over, they scan your ID. They can see that you purchased alcohol. That's something interesting. It says the mundane vehicle. This is going into license plates. It says the mundane vehicle license plate, along with the windshield wiper, virtually unchanged vestige. Blase. Several companies are applying digital technology to what has long just been a slab of metal, in hopes of making it cheaper to update your vehicle's registration and turning it into a portal to the connected world. Such changes benefit the vehicle owner, blah, blah, blah. So, basically, and it's interesting, they had this on during the Super Bowl. So like for changing the subject, but that just popped up. Microsoft AI helps farmers, and this is all GMO shit. All of this is GMO. They're able to track it. They're able to calculate it, and they don't honor the land Sabbath. But anyway, the license plate thing, because we all know Jake, what they like to do. They get a car. They don't want to pay on the damn license plate. They have the damn temp tags for fucking 2 years. Then they'll get the license plate on the car, and they don't want to update the plate. They can pull you over, give you a ticket. You have to go through all that shit. You got to pay a certain amount of property tax or whatever. It's all the game. But now, with this new shit, if they make it electronic, they could probably do something where your car can't drive until you update, your plates or something like that. They could probably do some shit like that. Or they can make it so that if your plates are not up to date, that it sets off the police to your location and they can quickly give you a ticket and make more money. So this place is all about making money. It's all a game. It's all about shitting on the little guy in the which is the Israelites and the corporations making money. And these Edomites, they come up and they talk shit and they don't understand. The peon Edomites. Well, look, man, if you were really on a level of what we consider Edomite royalty or any of that kind of shit, you should have been, in the money, so to say. You should have been a millionaire. You should have been, a billionaire or whatever. If they ain't got it by now, they just ain't gonna get it. So these Edomites have had every fucking chance. They got so many opportunities, so much money. Still out there, you still to this day, you still got Edomite millionaires popping up. But yeah, man, this is the way the entire world is doing. And look at that, they got Jake.
Artificial intelligence helps farmers feed a growing population without wrecking the planet. Microsoft
they got Esau, of course, doing all the technical work and all that shit. And they got Jake as the face of it. And that's the name of the game for Babylon.
Artificial intelligence helps farmers feed a growing population without wrecking the planet.
Yep, and then look at that. It also works as a they said the screen can display anything they want, make it easier to switch designs. They want to buy a vanity plate, select it. They want to buy a vanity plate. Amber alerts can be flashed on the plate if the vehicle is stolen. The plate can be changed to display that fact. So, it's a huge thing of convenience. Yep, it can be validated through cell signal when registration fees are paid. But if it's through a cell signal, that means it has to be hooked up to the engine of the car, probably. Saving a state because it's got to be hooked up to the antenna and all of that, so it's got to go through the system of the car's computer. When the registration fees are paid, saving the state the cost of postage and materials for paper renewals. The screen can display anything, blase blase. When the vehicle's parked, businesses can display advertisements on the plate, even targeting a vehicle's particular location because the plate is connected to GPS. The GPS would allow commercial fleet owners to track their vehicles. So the big rigs, trucks. Now you can't steal because those big tractor trailers and stuff, those are, $60,000, $50,000 vehicles. Now you can start to track them if they do get stolen.
Microsoft
look,
AI
it can even go through automated tolls. No need for easy pass anymore. So Esau is once again, man, slick. They can come with, and from the looks of it, some of these Edomites can have already got the shit. And that's the name of the game for Esau. They come at you with a thing where it's convenient, and then really it's a trap, and that's how they get out. Let me see what else on that. Yeah. So it runs you about $700 for that. But who knows? Maybe they'll make that a mandatory thing that you have to buy. Yep. International Proof Systems, a St. Louis startup, is developing a standard metal plate with an embedded chip that can change color to signify registration status, whether the vehicle has been stolen or is it any other designations the authorities require. There you go. And that's it on that. It's just more things that are leading up to the mark of the beast. Everything to be connected. That's what Esau wants. You know, he's not even, at this point, they're not even hiding it. All the movies, they're trying to show it, all the technology coming out, they're not even attempting to hide what they're doing anymore. And they can't, because if it's going to be a global system, they have to get you used to it. They have to get your mind used to it. You know, they have to get everything about you. They have to ease you into it, and then they come out with it. This is another one. It said how I hacked hospital RFID. It said a flaw in my hospital security meant I could open doors I was not supposed to. Right. They had a lock. It needed a 125 megahertz RFID staff pass to get through. On occasion, I tapped my phone against the RFID pad. It opened. Boom. So, you know, and shit like this, you know, they try to make it seem like he was just a freelancer who just did the shit. But, you know, of course, once again, problem, reaction, solution. You know, the Edomites gave him the technology to be able to hack their system, and boom. So now what they have to do, they have to ramp up the system. They have to spend more money. So, you know, they might as well make you do it too. And that's really it on that. You know, I'm not going to try to make more than it is. It's just a ramp up. You know, this is something that's coming. It's going to continue to come. You know, brothers always talk about it. There was a time where you got your check, you had to wait in the line for the checking at the bank or the check cashing place. Then boom, they came with direct deposit. You know, now it's instant. Sometimes you might even get direct deposit the day before. So it's just all about convenience. Esau's going to continue to push convenience. That's another reason why the scriptures talk about flee from Babylon, flee out of this place, get your spirit out of this place. You know, don't have no faith in this place, because come out of her, my people. He said my people. He's talking about the Israelites. Hey, with that being said, it's just a short one, man. Just a quick hit, quick coffee shot, quick caffeine shot. You know, a little bit of 5-hour energy. Call Allah Yahweh Shah. Hopefully it was edifying for you. Shalom.